She was hiding under the hospital bed when Michael Jackson arrived. The nurses had been preparing for weeks' cleaning rooms, coaching the children, making sure everyone looked presentable for the king of pop. But 8-year-old Emma Rodriguez wasn't in her bed. She wasn't in the playroom. She was under her bed, pressed against the cold floor, wearing a white medical mask that covered half her face, whispering over and over, "Don't let him see me. I'm a monster." 6 months earlier, Emma had lost everything in a house fire: her parents, her home, her face. The burns covered 40% of her skin, leaving scar tissue that made other children stare and adults look away. She hadn't spoken more than a few words since the fire. She refused mirrors. She wore her medical mask constantly, hiding behind plastic because she believed she was too ugly for the world to see. And now Michael Jackson, the most famous person on earth, the most beautiful performer who ever lived, was walking through the burn unit at Brotman Medical Center, and Emma couldn't let him see what she'd become. But what Emma didn't know was that Michael Jackson understood burn pain better than almost anyone. 10 months earlier, his own hair had caught fire during a Pepsi commercial, leaving him with 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his scalp. He knew the agony, he knew the surgeries, he knew what it felt like to look in the mirror and see damage where there used to be perfection. And when he learned there was a little girl hiding under her bed because she thought she was too ugly for him to see, Michael did something that would change Emma's life forever. He sat down on the floor beside her locked door and said 5 words that would break through 6 months of silence. "I have burn scars too." September 6, 1984, Riverside, California. Emma Rodriguez was turning 8 years old, and her mother Maria had baked her favorite cake chocolate with vanilla frosting and rainbow sprinkles. Her father Carlos had decorated their small living room with streamers and balloons. Everything was perfect. Emma sat at the dining table in her favorite yellow dress, watching her mother carry the cake. 8 candles flickered. Her father stood ready with his camera. "Make a wish, Mia," Maria said. Emma closed her eyes, wishing for a pink bicycle with streamers. She opened her eyes, took a deep breath, and Maria smelled it. Smoke coming from the kitchen. Maria's face changed instantly. Orange light flickered against the walls. The old electrical wiring had finally failed. Flames were spreading faster than anyone imagined. "Carlos!" Maria screamed. Emma's father ran toward the kitchen, but flames had engulfed the doorway. He stumbled back, coughing. Maria grabbed Emma by the shoulders. "Run, Emma, run to the front door. Don't stop." "Mama, what's happening? Run." Maria pushed Emma toward the front door. Emma stumbled across the living room, confused and scared. She reached the door, pulled it open, and ran into their small front yard. Then Emma made the mistake that would haunt her forever. She looked back. Flames poured from the kitchen windows. Black smoke billowed from the roof. And in the doorway Emma had just run through, her mother stood, silhouetted against the fire. "Mama," Emma screamed, "come out." But Maria wasn't running out. She was trying to go back in. "Mama." Emma started running back when flames burst through the front windows. The heat hit Emma, burning her face and neck in 3 seconds before a neighbor grabbed her and pulled her away. Emma fought him, screaming. But Mr. Patterson held her tightly, turning her away from the house. The fire department arrived. 20 minutes later, they emerged carrying 2 bodies covered in yellow tarps. Emma stopped screaming. She went silent, staring at those yellow tarps, knowing what they meant, but unable to process it. At Brotman Medical Center's emergency room, doctors treated Emma's burns. 2nd-degree burns on her left cheek and jaw, 3rd-degree burns on her neck. The burns required immediate intervention and multiple surgeries. Emma spent 3 months at Brotman, 7 surgeries to graft skin and minimize scarring, physical therapy to maintain neck mobility, pain management for the constant burning sensation. Her Aunt Rosa Maria's younger sister came to stay with Emma. Rosa took leave from her hotel housekeeping job to be with Emma during recovery. But Emma barely spoke. When doctors asked questions, she would nod or shake her head. When Rosa tried to comfort her, Emma would turn away. The worst moment came when the bandages finally came off. Nurse Jennifer Wilson brought a small handheld mirror. "Emma, honey, you're healing beautifully. Do you want to see?" Emma hadn't looked at her reflection since before the fire. She nodded. Jennifer held up the mirror. Emma looked at her face and felt her world collapse. The burns had left raised scar tissue across her left cheek, jaw, and neck. The skin was textured and discolored patches of red, white, and pink. Emma stared. Then she said the first complete sentence in weeks. "I'm a monster." "No, sweetheart, I'm a monster." Emma screamed, throwing the mirror across the room where it shattered. "I'm ugly. I'm a monster." She sobbed uncontrollably until they gave her a sedative. After that day, Emma refused mirrors. The hospital provided a white plastic medical mask designed to protect healing burn tissue, and Emma wore it constantly. Even when doctors said she didn't need it, Emma would panic and fight to keep the mask on. The mask became Emma's shield. Behind it, she could pretend she was still the same girl. Social services helped Rosa become Emma's legal guardian. In December 1984, Emma was discharged, but Emma refused to leave the apartment. Rosa tried enrolling her in school, but Emma had panic attacks at the thought of children seeing her face. She spent her days sitting in the apartment, wearing her mask, barely speaking, lost in grief and shame. Rosa called the hospital repeatedly. "She thinks she's a monster," Rosa told Jennifer Wilson. "She won't believe me when I tell her she's beautiful. I don't know how to reach her." Jennifer promised to ask the psychiatric team for recommendations. 10 months before Emma's fire, January 27, 1984, Michael Jackson had been filming a Pepsi commercial, the Shrine Auditorium. The commercial featured elaborate pyrotechnics. During the 6th take, something went wrong. A pyrotechnic effect misfired. Sparks showered onto Michael's head. His hair caught fire instantly. For several seconds, Michael's hair and scalp burned while he continued performing, not realizing what had happened. When he finally felt the searing pain and collapsed, security rushed to put out the flames. Michael was rushed to Brotman Medical Center with 2nd and 3rd degree burns covering his scalp. The pain was excruciating. Michael required multiple surgeries and weeks of recovery, but the physical pain was only part of Michael's ordeal. Michael Jackson, whose appearance was scrutinized by millions, now had permanent burn scars. Scars that would require ongoing treatment. Scars that would never fully heal. During his recovery at Brotman, Michael became aware of other burn patients, especially children. He heard their cries during dressing changes. He saw their fear when they looked in mirrors. When Michael was discharged, he made a substantial donation to the burn unit. But more importantly, he asked to be kept informed about children being treated there. In December 1984, 11 months after his accident, Michael requested permission to visit the pediatric burn unit. Not with cameras, not with press, just a quiet, private visit. The hospital agreed. The staff prepared carefully. They told the children Michael Jackson was coming. Rooms were cleaned. Everyone was excited. Everyone except Emma Rodriguez. Rosa and Emma's social worker decided not to tell Emma about Michael's visit until that morning. They knew Emma would refuse to participate. She would hide. On December 15, 1984, Rosa sat down with Emma. "Mia, we're going to the hospital today for your checkup, and someone is visiting the children. Someone who wants to meet you." Emma's eyes showed interest. "Who?" "Michael Jackson." Emma's body went rigid. "No, Emma, nitrogen monoxide. I won't go. I won't let him see me. I'm ugly. He can't see me." She ran to her room and locked the door. After an hour of coaxing, Rosa convinced Emma they needed to go for her medical appointment anyway, and Emma could stay in her room while Michael visited others. Emma reluctantly agreed, but only if she could keep her door locked. They arrived at Brotman that afternoon. Michael was already there. Emma was taken to her usual room. Nurse Jennifer came to check. "Emma, honey, Michael Jackson is here. He'd love to meet you." "No," Emma whispered, backing away. "I said no." Emma's voice rose. "I don't want him to see me." Before Jennifer could respond, Emma crawled under her hospital bed and pulled herself into the corner. "Lock the door," Emma said. "Please, don't let him in." Jennifer stepped outside and locked the door as Emma requested. Michael continued his visits. He spent time with a boy recovering from a gasoline fire. He talked with twin girls burned in a car accident. He signed autographs, asked about their favorite songs, made them laugh. He was about to leave when Jennifer approached. "Mr. Jackson, there's one more child. Emma Rodriguez. She's 8 years old." "Where is she?" "She's in room 304, but she's locked the door. She won't come out." "What happened?" Jennifer explained. "The house fire on Emma's birthday. The loss of both parents, the burns, the surgeries. The moment Emma saw her reflection and called herself a monster. The mask she wore constantly, the shame. She's under the bed right now," Jennifer said. "When we told her you were coming, she had a panic attack. She's terrified you'll see her face." Michael was quiet. Then, "May I try to talk to her?" Jennifer led Michael to room 304. Michael knocked gently. "Emma, my name is Michael. Can I talk to you?" Silence. "I know you're scared, but I want to tell you something important." Still silence, but Michael could hear quiet breathing. "I was burned too, Emma, about a year ago. My hair caught fire during a commercial. It hurt so much. They brought me here, to this hospital. I had surgeries, multiple surgeries, and I have scars now. Permanent scars that will never go away." Under the bed, Emma stopped whispering. She was listening. "After the fire, I was afraid to look in the mirror." Michael continued. "I kept thinking, everyone knows me as the performer with perfect hair, perfect moves, perfect everything. What will they think when they see I'm scarred? I felt damaged." Emma's voice, very quiet, came through the door. "But you're Michael Jackson. You're beautiful. Everyone loves you." "No, Emma. I'm a person with burn scars, just like you. And some people do stare at me differently now. It makes me want to hide sometimes." Silence. Then, "But kids don't call you a monster." Michael sat on the floor against the door. "You're right. But Emma, that doesn't mean what they say is true. It means they don't understand yet. My aunt says I'm beautiful, but she's lying. I saw my face. Can I tell you something about beauty?" Emma didn't respond, but Michael could hear her moving closer to the door. "Beauty isn't about perfect skin or perfect hair. Beauty is about who you are inside. It's about kindness, about courage, about being able to smile after something terrible happens. Those things are real beauty, Emma, and nobody can take those away from you. But people stare at me too, everywhere I go. But their staring says more about them than it does about me." Pause. Then Emma asked, "Does your burns still hurt? Sometimes, when the weather changes. When I'm tired, do yours still hurt?" "Yes, at night especially. I'm sorry, Emma, burn pain is hard." Silence. Michael waited. Finally, "Can I see your scars?" "If you open the door, yes. I'll show you, but you'll see mine. Only if you want. You can keep your mask on if you feel safer. But Emma, I want you to know something. I already think you're beautiful. You haven't seen me. I don't need to see your scars to know you're beautiful. You survived a fire. You've had 7 surgeries. You're still here, still brave enough to talk to me. That's beautiful." Several minutes passed. Michael waited. Finally, he heard movement, footsteps. The lock clicked. The door opened slowly. Emma stood there, trembling. She wore her white mask, her eyes red from crying, stared at Michael with fear and hope. Michael stood slowly. "Hello, Emma. Thank you for opening the door." She didn't respond. "May I come in?" Emma stepped back. Michael entered and sat on the floor, making himself at Emma's level. He gestured to the floor. "Will you sit with me?" Emma hesitated, then sat cross-legged, maintaining distance. Michael carefully removed his black fedora. He lifted his hair on the left side, revealing his scalp. The burned scars were visible patches of discolored skin, areas where hair no longer grew, tissue that had healed, but would never look the same. Emma leaned forward. "Does it hurt when you touch it?" "Sometimes. It's very sensitive. I have to be careful in the sun." "Do you hate it, your scars?" Michael thought carefully. "Sometimes I wish they weren't there. But hate them? No. They're part of my story now. They remind me I survived. And they help me understand what others go through." Emma touched her mask. "I hate mine." "Why?" "Because they make me ugly. Because they remind me of the worst day of my life." "Can I see them?" Emma's body tensed. "No. That's okay. You don't have to." They sat in silence. Then Emma asked, "Do people ever call you ugly? Some people say cruel things. But people who say cruel things usually feel ugly inside themselves." Emma was quiet, thinking. Then, slowly, with trembling hands, she reached up and touched her mask. "You don't have to," Michael said. "I want you to see. So you understand why I can't go outside, okay?" Emma slowly removed her mask. The burned scars covered her left cheek, jaw, and neck. The skin was textured with raised scar tissue, discolored in patches. Michael looked at her face, really looked, and his expression remained gentle. "Emma," he said quietly, "you're beautiful." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. I can see you. I can see past these scars to who you really are. I see a girl who lost her parents but kept living, who had 7 surgeries but came out the other side, who's scared but brave enough to take off her mask anyway. That's real beauty." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "But kids at school will call me names, maybe some will. But their names can't hurt you unless you believe them. You don't have to believe them. Because I'm telling you, you are not a monster. You are beautiful." The tears spilled over. Emma started sobbing. Michael opened his arms. "May I give you a hug?" Emma nodded. She crawled across the floor and collapsed against him, sobbing into his shoulder. Michael wrapped his arms around her and just held her, letting her cry. "I miss them so much," Emma cried. "I miss my mama and papa. I know. And you're going to miss them for the rest of your life. Missing them means you love them. It was my birthday. It wasn't your fault, Emma. Your mother pushed you out that door to save you. She wanted you to live, not to hide, to live." They sat there for almost half an hour. Michael didn't rush. He just held Emma until the tears slowed. When she pulled back, she asked, "Do you think I can go outside without my mask?" "I think you can do anything you decide. It might be scary. People might stare. But you're stronger than you think. You survived a fire. You survived losing your parents. You survived 7 surgeries. You can survive some people staring. Will you come with me? Just to the hallway?" Of course. Michael stood and offered his hand. Emma took it. Together, they walked to the door. Emma was shaking. "I'm scared. Being scared is okay. Being scared and doing it anyway, that's courage." Michael opened the door. In the hallway, several nurses looked up. Emma tried to hide behind Michael, but he gently encouraged her to stand beside him. "Emma," Nurse Jennifer said, smiling warmly, "you look beautiful without your mask." Emma looked at Michael. He nodded. She took a breath and said, "Thank you." Other staff members offered kind words. Emma stayed close to Michael, but she didn't run. She stood there, face visible, receiving kindness. After a few minutes, Michael walked Emma back to her room. He took off his black fedora and placed it on Emma's head. It was too big, falling over her eyes. She pushed it up, smiling through tears. "This is for you," Michael said, "to remind you that you're brave, that you're beautiful." He also gave her a phone number. "This is for Neverland Ranch. If you ever feel scared, if you need someone to talk to, you can call. I'll call you back, I promise." Emma looked at the number, then at Michael. "Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for letting me see you, the real you. You're beautiful, Emma. Don't let anyone tell you different." 6 months later, June 1985, Emma Rodriguez walked into Riverside Elementary for the first time since the fire. No mask, face visible, heart pounding. Rosa had worked with the school to prepare Emma's classmates. The teacher had talked about burn injuries, about kindness, about how differences don't change who someone is. Emma stood at the front of her third grade class and took a breath. "My name is Emma Rodriguez. I was in a fire last year. I have burn scars. But I'm still me." One boy raised his hand. "Did it hurt?" "Yes, a lot. But it doesn't hurt as much now." A girl asked, "Are you brave?" Emma thought about Michael's words. "I'm trying to be." By the end of the first week, the staring had stopped. By the end of the month, Emma had made 3 friends. By the end of the year, she was just another kid who happened to have burn scars. During that first year, Emma called Neverland twice. Both times, Michael called back within 24 hours. They talked about courage, about surviving, about choosing to live. Years passed. Emma graduated and went to college, studying psychology with a focus on trauma counseling. She wanted to help people who'd survived terrible things. In 2009, Emma Rodriguez was 33 and working as a therapist at the Brotman Medical Center. She specialized in helping children cope with burn injuries, teaching them what Michael had taught her. Scars don't define you. When Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009, Emma felt like she'd lost family. She flew to Los Angeles for the memorial service. She was invited to speak. Standing before thousands of mourners and millions watching worldwide, Emma Rodriguez, burn scars visible. No mask, no shame, told her story. "When I was 8, I thought my life was over. I'd lost my parents. I'd lost my face. I thought I was a monster. I hid under a hospital bed because I didn't want the most beautiful person in the world to see how ugly I'd become. But Michael Jackson sat outside my locked door and said, 'I have burn scars too.' He showed me his scars. He told me about his pain. He made me understand that surviving something terrible doesn't make you ugly. It makes you strong." Michael saved my life that day. Not by fixing my scars, they're still here, but by teaching me they don't define me. I am still Emma, and I am beautiful. He taught me that. And now I teach other burn survivors the same lesson. Michael, wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for seeing me when I couldn't see myself. Thank you for teaching me that real beauty has nothing to do with perfect skin. Today, Emma Rodriguez is 48. She runs Beautiful Survivors, a non-profit providing free counseling to burn victims. She speaks at schools about bullying and acceptance. She's written 2 books about post-traumatic growth. She's helped thousands. In her office, she keeps 3 things: a photograph of her parents, Michael Jackson's fedora in a glass case, and a quote on the wall: "Beauty isn't about perfect skin. It's about surviving, healing, and choosing to be seen." Emma's story reminds us that scars don't make us monsters. They make us survivors. They tell stories of battles fought and won. Michael Jackson didn't heal Emma's burns that December day 1984. He healed something deeper, her belief that she was too broken to be loved, too ugly to be seen. Sometimes the greatest kindness isn't fixing someone's problems. It's showing them your own scars and saying, "I understand. You're not alone, and you are beautiful exactly as you are." Emma Rodriguez learned that lesson from the king of pop, and she spent the rest of her life teaching it to others, one burn survivor at a time. one scar at a time, one moment of being seen at a time. Because real beauty isn't about how you look. It's about having the courage to let people see you, scars and all.